In 1999, millions of people walked into movie theaters believing they were watching real, recovered footage. The shaky camera, the desperate screaming, the unedited panic. It all felt terrifyingly real. In fact, some viewers genuinely believed the actors were dead, sending condolences to their families. But behind the Blair Witch Project wasn't just a lucky indie film. It was one of the smartest, most ruthless psychological experiments Hollywood had ever executed. This is the untold truth behind the movie that changed horror forever. Part 1. The Legend Begins. The nightmare begins in a small, quiet town called Burkittsville, Maryland. According to the movie's intricate mythology, a mysterious entity known as the Blair Witch had haunted these woods for centuries, leaving behind a trail of strange disappearances and ritualistic child murders. In the film, 3 student filmmakers, Heather, Mike, and Josh, enter the Black Hills Forest to document this legend. Armed with just a couple of cameras, they hike into the dense trees. Days later, they disappear. The only thing ever recovered was their footage, found buried under an old cabin. That idea alone paralyzed audiences. Unlike the flashy Hollywood slasher films of the 90s, this didn't feel scripted. It felt like a crime scene. Part 2. How the movie fooled the world. Internet dial-up screens, old forums, and fake missing person flyers. Today, we are used to viral marketing, but back in 1999, the internet was a brand new frontier, and people trusted what they read online. The filmmakers weaponized that trust perfectly. Before the movie hit theaters, they built a website featuring fake police reports, fake news interviews, and fake missing person posters. They even listed the actual actors as missing, presumed dead, on IMDb. The world fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Emergency lines were flooded. Some theaters had viewers rushing out in a full-blown panic, while others became physically motion-sick from the shaky handheld camera. The realism was unprecedented because the dialogue was completely improvised, and the nightmare was actually happening to them. Part 3. The dark truth behind the filming. The actors weren't given a traditional script. Instead, the directors essentially abandoned them in the woods with cameras, a GPS, and basic daily instructions left in plastic pods. The cast had no idea what would happen next. At night, the directors took the psychological warfare to the next level. While the actors tried to sleep, crew members secretly stalked their camp, blasting recordings of laughing children, throwing rocks, and violently shaking their tents. To make matters worse, the directors intentionally rationed their food, giving them less sustenance each day to actively force real-world stress, anger, and starvation. Their exhaustion, their bitter arguments, and their raw fear weren't acting. It was a real-time psychological breakdown. That famous close-up of Heather crying? Completely raw. It was the face of a woman pushed to her absolute limit. Part 4. The ending that terrified everyone. The final sequence of the movie plays out, the eerie house, the basement stairs. And then came the climax. One of the most disturbing endings in horror history. Heather enters a decaying, abandoned house, following Mike's screams down into the basement. The camera pans up, and there is Mike, standing silently, facing the corner of the room. Seconds later, Heather is struck from behind. The camera crashes heavily to the dirt floor, and the movie cuts to black. Total black screen, absolute silence for 2 seconds. No monster, no cheap jump scare, just dead silence. It worked brilliantly because it forced the viewers to do the heavy lifting. As any psychologist will tell you, human imagination is far scarier than anything Hollywood can ever show you. The line between reality and Hollywood illusion is thinner than you think. If you want to pull back the curtain on history's greatest mysteries and the dark realities hidden in plain sight, make sure to subscribe to Untold Truth right now. Hit that notification bell, leave a comment below with your thoughts, and join our community.